All right. Welcome along to my channel, guys. It's been a long time coming. I mean to say, I've been looking forward to this with anticipation. I'm absolutely delighted to say that the main man, one of Ireland's favourite sons, Kyle Walsh, die-hard gooner like myself. He's old school like me, guys. Less of the old, he'll be saying, but he's back in the house. And yeah, I'm just going to let him talk a little bit about his channel, big up himself. If you haven't already, anyway, guys, the name of the channel is up here, Kyle Walsh Gunner. Like his videos, subscribe to his channel. He's always creating a lot of content. And yeah, very entertaining YouTuber. But first and foremost, he's a die-hard Arsenal fan. Take it away, Kyle, man. Big up your channel, and then we'll get into it.
First of all, big up yourself there for having me on your channel, man. It's always a pleasure. And secondly, the name is Kyle Walsh Gunner. You can find me on that. Please subscribe and like. It means a lot to me. I'm a mad, passionate Arsenal supporter. I have been for the last 37 years. I speak with passion. I speak with the way I feel at that precise time. My feelings and my reactions are real, and you will see how real I am. There's no bullshit with me. Straight talk, straight facts, and that's it. So, Kyle Walsh Gunner, keep an eye on us.
Definitely straight talk, anyway. I've been looking forward to this for a while. Big up to the McManus, man, and thank you for tuning in. Couple of comments I'm just going to put up there before we get started. I just want to also thank everybody that has subscribed to my channel in the last 3 weeks. I gained like 280 subscribers. So I just want to thank everyone. It was the Trossard video. I did a Trossard video. It hit like 5,000 views. Then I did another one. It hit 13,000 views. So I just want to thank all of those like 270, 280 odd people that subscribed to my channel in the last 3 weeks. 5 years, I had 1,300 subscribers. In 3 weeks, in 2.5 weeks, I gained like 280. Go figure. That's life, huh? It is what it is. But the Trossard story at that time was generating a lot of interest. And that's what kind of made it for me. It was just lucky, spur of the moment. I went on and I just cleaned up. All right, let me put up another comment. Looking forward to tonight's stream. Subscribe to the Old School Gunner. Also subscribe to Kyle, guys. Talking about the ticket prices have gone up again. Aren't we already the most expensive in the league? They really are pricing out the working man. Going to have to remortgage my house to watch them play. We'll get to that at a later point. But first, I don't know, where do we start? I suppose let's start with the transfer window. Let's start with the transfer window. What was going on there? What do you think of it, Kyle? I mean, obviously it wasn't good, right? I mean, it's frustrating.
Well, to start with, Dave, I'm after hearing a lot of top gunners talking about the transfer window and they're giving it marks over time. And people that I thought would have a bit more sense when it came to the club were giving us 8 out of 10. As a matter of fact, I heard one fan saying they gave it 9 out of 10. Now, to me, as a fan, all my life, I give it a 2 out of 10. And the reason why I give it 2 out of 10 is because we bought Trossard in. I have been a Trossard fan for many years, and I think he's a top player, and I was delighted that we got him. And when we did get him, I was excited. I said to myself, we're actually now showing that we're a big club. We know that the Premier League is within our grasp for the first time in almost 2 decades. Now we need to build on the squad. We get Trossard. Now I'm saying to myself, the gates are open. More additions is coming. I'm excited. For the first time in years, I'm excited. Then all of a sudden, we get this centre-back fella. I don't even want to say his name because I butcher it. And I'm saying to myself, who the hell is this fella? He's a 22-year-old. He's unproven. I hope he's a success. But I'm not holding my breath. And then all of a sudden, we're linked to this fella. We're linked to that fella. Casino for 70 million. Declan Rice's name has been thrown around the mix. And I'm saying to myself, Rice, we're back now. We're showing real character here. 70 million for deals. And the next thing we'll end up getting Jorginho. And I'm saying to me, are you fucking serious? You'd be better with me. Jorginho. Sure. I saw Faster Funerals there.
Yeah.
So so to me, when I saw that happening, I said, oh my God. So to be honest, my honest opinion, and I'm here tonight talking about my opinion, about what I feel and what I think as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
And I genuinely believe that for the first time in almost 2 decades, we had an unbelievable chance of winning the Premier League. And I think this transfer window, we have blown it. That's my honest opinion. I think the squad is way for team. I think we're only 1 or 2 injuries away from destruction. We're playing Brentford on Saturday. Not going to be an easy game there.
No.
Then we have Man City this night next week. Not easy.
Ouch.
So the next 2 games is massive. And I don't think our squad is big enough to win the league.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Where do I start? I mean, the chase for Mudryk. Okay, we can't compete with Chelsea, but the chase for Mudryk, that wasn't going to happen. The Trossard signing, like yourself, he's a decent player. And for me, Premier League experience is vital. He brings that. But Caicedo, that was the one for me that was quite disappointing. I mean, when you think about things like, we're fans, we're YouTubers, we're men, we know football, we know what we're talking about here. But Edu and the lads, the board, this, that, and the other, they should have had, like, the season started in August. They should have had something lined up beforehand. Now, we're not going to be whinging and moaning and bitching about the Everton result, guys. The transfer window is the thing that was going to settle it. You know what I mean? Whether we would be nearly Rans or champions. The transfer window was going to settle it all because the team have done fantastically so far. But we need reinforcements in vital positions. And it just didn't happen for us. I mean, I'm not saying, like I said, I don't want to repeat myself, but we're not going to compete with Chelsea, of course, financially. But we could have got a couple of deals done, and we could have done better than we did. Like, look at the size of the club. With all due respect to, like, other teams in the Premier League, in the Championship, this is Arsenal Football Club we're talking about here. We have fans. I mean, a home game, 60,000 sellout. You know what they make in a home game? Ticket sales alone? Over £1 million in one game. Ticket sales. So you're telling me, like, I mean, the whole match day, the whole thing, a home game, it's like $1 million for the club. Arsenal Football Club here. And this is what we were dealing with. I mean, Jorginho. I mean, it would remind you of Willian. What is it with us in Chelsea? Honestly, man, we give them our best players. And what do we get in return? Last 5 or 6 years, it's been like that. I know we're meant to be a big club mentality. We're top of the league. We're going well. We're full of confidence. And this is the transfer window we show. And did it have an adverse effect on the confidence of the players? I mean, Partey has been running himself into the ground. So I have the back four. I mean, Saliba has been incredible. Odegaard, before the Everton game, was doing well. I'm not the least I say about his defending for the goal, the better. But we've been doing all right. And the players need a bit of a boost. If we brought in a big name player, it brings also something to the training ground. And you'll see the difference. It's all going to see what's going on. Wait until the game at the weekend. And then you'll see what the team is made of. The United victory was fantastic. The one before that against Spurs, top notch. The pressure we put United under in that second half, I mean, it was just, they had to break at some point. They had to give. I knew with 10 minutes to go, we had them. But look at the Everton game. We need players to come in. We need resources. We need big money signings. And the board had plenty of time to get something lined up. There's 5 major leagues in Europe. You're telling me there's no good players in France? You're telling me there's no good players in Spain, Italy, players that could have come in? I mean, we're looking one-dimensional here. I don't know. Where are we looking? What are we doing? You know what I mean? There's deals out there. There's deals to be had, and there's a lot of good players out there. Balogun in Rennes, he's a top scorer in France right now. He's got 14 goals in 20 games. He scored against PSG the other week. He's still an Arsenal player. We can't pull him back. We can't bring him back. He's top scorer in League One right now. He's banging in the goals. I don't know, but the transfer window was just very, very disappointing to consider the direction the club is going in. I'm just going to put up a couple of comments. Edu the donkey. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Glad we got Trossard over Mudryk, but spent all that time trying to get Caicedo and leave with 31-year-old Jorginho, another Chelsea pensioner. Exactly. I mean, Caicedo was one for the future, and not just this season, whether we win the league or not, for the coming seasons. You know what I mean? Guy's only 21. If we're going to get Caicedo, I'm sorry, but there were other achievable targets. Onana, he played out of his skin for Everton. He was unreal, just a beast. I watched that game, man. Tielemans, Ward-Prowse, Neves. Yeah. It is what it is, man. And like they have Premier League experience, these guys. That's what I was saying. We could recall Balogun easily. Top scorer in the French league. He's got something going for him. I've had Arsenal fans telling me Jorginho's a backup. Stop moaning. All I can say is I really hope Partey or Xhaka don't get injured. And they could go off form. I mean, they could lose their form. They might not be playing too well. I don't know. The Everton game, Kyle, what did you make of it, man? I mean...
Well, anyone who wants to subscribe to my channel, you could start by looking at the match reaction that I did, because I was seriously pissed off.
Yeah.
The Everton game, Dave, we went there to Everton and we never showed up. The mentality was completely wrong from the very beginning. Everton outclassed us, they bullied us, they intimidated us, they ran us into the ground, they were up for us. The desire, the passion, the heart, the fight was there. The winning mentality, like I always talk about, was there. Fans turned to me and said, "You're overreacting, Kai. That Everton has a new boss in Sean Dyche. Obviously, the fans were going to be up for it. The players were going to be up for it." And my simple answer back to that is very simple, Dev. Okay, I understand that. We are fighting to win the Premier League for the first time in nearly 2 decades. Is that not enough motivation to go to any fucking ground and put in a performance? Don't waste my time talking shit. So, in my eyes, everything, they did all the good things, all the basic things they did right. But Arsenal, they just fell apart. They showed a weakness again, Dave, that I haven't seen this season. And everything basically is showing a blueprint for other teams how to play against us now. No, it's not a plan A. That's all we have is a plan A. Now we need a plan B, a plan C. We have to break down these teams like Everton with their low blocks, their price. The price Odegaard, he was nowhere in the game. If you press him, he disappears. He didn't want to be there. Well, I told you before, I say it again, that to me, that Everton game showed me that we don't really have the winning mentality. Even though we're done fantastically well, and I pat them all on the back, fair play, it's a great achievement what we've done. But there's no league title won in fucking February. So they have to wake up now and they have to get out there and have to win. Last week, all I saw was lads giving each other high fives and piggybacks at training and all smiles and licking each other's holes and you're a legend and I'm a legend. And they went out then, they got bit by everything. I don't want to see that this week. Go out Saturday and beat Brentford. If not, fuck off.
Yeah. I think you summed it up better than I ever could have, Kyle. I mean, my thoughts before the game, I was nervous. I was anxious. I'm the most positive Arsenal fan you could ever meet. But something told me they were going to make it difficult for us at their ground. It is a notorious. The last time we won there was in Arsene Wenger's era, when he was manager. Now, when I heard that statistic, I got a shock. But that wasn't what influenced me. Something told me we were going to come unstuck. I don't know what it was. Look, it's the transfer window, man. We've been running the team into the ground, and we could have done with some resources, some reinforcements. They played Martinelli and they played Saka to perfection, but they played with positive aggression. They manned up from the goalie to the forward, right through the team. Everton were up from it for the first minute. But the problem that I have, right? Okay, you're going to deal with that, yeah? They were enthusiastic. They were confident. Dyche is a fantastic coach. He put something into their minds, we can get at them. You know what I mean? And they did. And they completely, if you looked at it and you didn't know who was going for the league, you'd think Everton. They played out of their skins. They could have been 2 or 3 up at halftime. That's not an exaggeration. They're free in the box. They had a couple of shots. They had a couple of headers, and we were nowhere. We were lucky they put it either side of the post. Then the goal came. It was inevitable. As soon as they hit the front, we were done. We were done. It was over. The body language of the players, they didn't have the legs. They didn't have the mentality, like you say, winning mentality. But the problem that I have with that defeat is they were second from bottom. Kyle, they've been getting beaten week in, week out. All the goalie knows is to pick the ball out of the back of the net. They have been getting hammered, second from bottom. First 20 minutes, we set up shop, we go in, and we silence the crowd and we silence the team. And then we go to work. That should have been the game plan. It's Everton. It's hostile. It's Goodison. Grand job. Fair enough. I get it. Liverpudlians. They wear their hearts on their sleeves. They didn't stop shouting all game. Grand job. But we had a game plan. It should have been silence the crowd, shut them down in the first 20 minutes. If we get a goal on a break, all well and good. But they have been getting beaten week in, week out. Their confidence is fragile. We could have turned them over. We had enough players on the field to do the job. We're meant to be going for the league here. We're only lucky, Kyle, that City didn't win. If they had won, now I don't want to point out the obvious, guys, but if they had won, we're done. 2 points. Imagine the lift in the City dressing room if they had beat Spurs. We're so lucky. I mean, we really got away with it that time. It won't happen again.
No.
The weekend is going to tell everything. The weekend is going to tell everything. Look, I would love if we went smooth sailing, through to May, champions, nice and easy. It's not going to be like that. I'm not trying to gain a bit of traction for my channel and pretend we have a problem when we don't. This is a serious situation going on. Brentford are going to look at that Everton game, and you know what, lads? They're going to fancy it. It doesn't matter where it's been played. They're going to fancy it now. And our confidence, in my opinion, has dipped. Everton, they played 2 on Saka the whole time. They doubled up on him. He couldn't get free. But what about the space that creates? There was extra space there for someone to punch up. 2 players go to him. There's space on the inside. He draws them in. He releases the ball. We didn't have anything going on like that. Tactical news, technical ability, will to win. The 50-50s, they absolutely demolished us. I was like this. With 20 minutes to go, this is what I was doing. Look at my watch along. 20 minutes to go, I was like this. We were done. I was watching it, and my expression was just, that's it. So I was like this. I wasn't even commentating. I was just looking at it. I was like, what are they doing? We were defending the whole time. Listen, the Everton game, there can be no excuse for going up there and the manner of the performance. The manner of the performance. If that happens at the weekend, we need to bounce back now. The pressure's on the team. We're not going to win the league. It's not given to us. The transfer was a downer. That performance was a nightmare. The last to City in the cup, you know what? It's the end. Yeah, they are. They are.
Brentford players good football.
What are we going to do at the weekend?
They have good players. They're quick. They have a very, very, very good manager. And he will come to the Emirates with a game plan. So this is not a simple game by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
So, like, you know what I mean? And I tell you one thing, Dave, if we mess up on Saturday against Brentford and get beat, can you imagine what Man City be like come Wednesday night? They'd be like a pack of wolves.
They're going to trash us.
They'd be like animals. They'd be animals.
Yeah. I honestly think we're going to, lose the City game. I don't want to be too negative, but I think we're going to turn us over. And I love the club, man. I'm just giving my opinion now. Everyone out there that's watching, I love the club. You know what I mean? Since I was a child. But I can't let my heart rule my head. Sometimes me at the Emirates, we have home advantage, but I just think they're going to have too much for us. If it's the same situation again with Saka up against Ake, he cancelled Saka out and he got the winning goal. Our strengths, the players we have in strong positions, City are stronger. Something has to be done. Now Arteta has to prove his tactical nous because we don't have the advantage, the talent. We have talented players, but City do too. They're maybe that little bit better than us. Riyad Mahrez can decide the game on his own. Kevin De Bruyne, I'm not going to go into it, but everyone knows what City are capable of. Ake was unbelievable against Saka. He played him. He's quick. He's strong. He's actually quicker and stronger than Saka. Saka played his heart out. He did his best. But one-on-one against this beast, he got the goal as well. We don't have that advantage. We don't have that. City are waiting for us. Pep knows what's going on. It's going to be a tough game, and we're going to be under pressure at the Emirates. There's going to be pressure on us. We're top. We need to win. We need to do something. It's going to play into City's hands. I'm telling you, that game, we need to beat Brentford. We need to have the 3 points. Because against City, I'm telling you now, I'm going to be working, and that's lucky because the TV probably go through the window. But I'm going to be watching it probably because one of the lads will be streaming it. I'm going to watch it probably. But honestly, we need to get to 3 points against Brentford because City, in my opinion, they're going to beat us. Look, I don't want to be negative, but that's the way it is. So which way is that going to be table? We need to beat Brentford.
By this night next week, we could be getting beaten by Brentford and Man City. By this night next week. And if that is the case, we are in serious bother.
Yeah.
That's people don't realise. Now maybe we go out and we beat Brentford 3-0, and maybe we go out and beat Man City next Wednesday night. And if that's the case, hunky dory. But I'm just saying that in my mind, I don't think it's going to be like that. Brentford's going to be a tough game, and the Man City game, I fancy Man City in myself there. That's being honest about it.
Yeah, I fancy them too. I just think I saw enough in the first game. I mean, the FA Cup game. I saw enough in that match. Definitely, and they weren't, in my opinion, on form. They weren't on top of it. No, they're going to be, and they lost. They lost, of course, to Spurs. Now they're going to be champing at the bit. They're putting it in training. They're going to come out and they're going to gain some modicum of revenge against the next team. It's a dangerous time to be playing them, and the quality that they have on the field. I mean, we really need to set our stall up and get something out of that game because.
And let's not forget.
I take the point right now.
Let's not forget something else, Dave. The way there's an investigation into the club.
Yeah.
Guardiola and the players might galvanise together, and they might say, you know what? Let's show the Premier League what we really are made of. This is a frightening time to play Man City. Don't be under any illusion.
Yeah.
This is squeaky bum time here coming up now. Let's see now. Let's see if Arteta and the boys got the fucking balls and the winning mentality to go on and win the Premier League. And if they do, I'd be the first one to say a big up to Arteta and the players, and I apologise, not wrestling. I don't see it. I just don't see it. That transfer window destroyed it for me.
Yeah. It unsettled everything. It derailed us a little bit. I don't know. We didn't do any real good business. We didn't get any really good players, and it's a good point you make. City now will feel they have a point to prove. Everyone's against them. They'll have a chip on the shoulder. They'll be going out and they'll be doing what they do best, and that's play fantastic attacking football. And defensively, they are just phenomenal. I mean, from the front to the back. I fear for us, to be honest. I fear for us against City. But first things first, we need to beat Brentford. McManus made a point and be up there. You'd almost forget about Ivan Toney, but how could you forget about a player like him? I mean, he's going to be hell-bent at the weekend on getting us. There's a lot of difficult games to come. I mean, you can say what you want about the win over Spurs and over United, but there's actually other teams in the league, like Everton, that actually make it more difficult to play against them because they do play attacking-wise, but United play full throttle attack. We found some space against them. They were committing forward and they were pressing, and we were able to hit them. Everton were different. They were behind the ball when they needed to be, and they attacked efficiently when they needed to be. There's a lot of different games. Unai Emery, Aston Villa. That's going to be a tough one. Yeah, if my memory serves me correct, we have to play City twice. This is only the first game, so I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting, and it's going to be quite difficult. Anything could happen. You know what I mean? We can't really kind of take any chances, but we need to win the Brentford game first things first. We need to put the game to bed. That game needs to be sorted out. When that is done, we'll be on the pig's back. Then we can look forward to the City game, maybe get one over them. But before that happens, we have to beat Brentford. And honestly, that is going to be a very, very tough one. That is going to be a very, very tough one. All right, you're back. Gone but not forgotten.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Good. The daughter rang me there.
No problem. No problem. A friend of mine is actually just ringing me now, but that's fine. I'll take the call later. He obviously doesn't pay attention to my YouTube channel anyway. Maybe he wants to phone in.
I said that to the daughter. I said, Amy, you know Dad is on YouTube tonight.
Phone in.
There you go. And
yeah,
I said, Amy, you know Dad's on YouTube talking about Arsenal. Like she said, Dad, do you ever stop talking about Arsenal?
I hope the locals where you live anyway are being a bit nicer to you now, yeah? Remember that time you had a run-in with a guy because your opinions about Arteta? I hope that hasn't happened again anyway. I hope he's learned.
Trust
I hope he knows his place.
That has not happened again. Trust me. That problem has been dealt with. I'll put a quick stop to that, so I did.
Yeah,
it's hard to be done, right? Had to be done. You have an opinion, and people come after you for an opinion, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, haters, man.
Yeah,
that's all they care to do. Keyboard warriors, you know what I mean?
Keyboard warriors.
What do you think about the Man City financial fair play situation? I mean, what did you think of that when the story broke? I mean, they look to be in serious trouble now, huh?
Well, if there's over 100 charges against them, it's going to be very interesting. I don't think this is going to be dealt with anytime soon. This could take up to a couple of years to be sorted out. And if they are found guilty, Dave, I'm going to ask you a question. If they are found guilty, like, what do you do with a club of that stature? Like, people say, fine, I fine them. But how much do you fine a club like that? Like, it's pittance to them. Then you talk about relegation.
Off in the ocean.
Well, the Premier League allowed that to happen for a club of that stature to be relegated. So, because look at the revenue that Manchester City is bringing into the Premier League every season. So it's a massive story.
Yeah.
I said let the lawyers battle it out and let's comment on it then when the verdict is made. Because at the moment, none of us really know what's going on. We know that there's corruption, but then there's corruption in every club in English football, in European football.
Yeah,
like they're all at us. So if Man City's found guilty, they have to investigate all the other big boys as well. In my opinion. And but it is fascinating. It's interesting. People talk about stripping their titles. I don't think so. I don't agree with that. No. They have the titles with them. But definitely, if they're found guilty, they have to be made an example of. And how do you do that with a club of that stature? That's my question. Do you really get them down to the bottom tier? Do you really get them to the championship? Do you take 20 points off them at the start of a Premier League calendar year? What do you do? How much do you fine them? Do you stop them from transfers? Do you stop them from buying players, selling players? There's so many questions.
I think relegation would be a thing. And I mean, I'm nothing against Man City, and I'm not trying to, discount them because we're having a battle for the title with them. But I think, like you said, financially, it's a drop in the ocean for them. You might as well pissing against the wind. I mean, financially, they're going to laugh at that. They're going to have the best lawyers. Look, they're going to have the best lawyers to sort this case out. But what's going to really come against them, Kyle, is the last time I think it was UEFA. I think was it the Champions League or?
That's right.
The UEFA rules, they have the time scale. Because it was so long ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, it was thrown out. But the Premier League has a different set of relegations regarding the time. It doesn't matter if it was 10 years ago. It doesn't matter if it was 15 years ago. It's going to stand. You know what I mean? They're not going to throw out the case because it was 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Started in 2013. It doesn't matter when. The rules were broken. And that is the thing that's going to catch up Manchester City as opposed to the last time. UEFA, when it was like more than 4 years ago, they just scrapped it. That's what saved them the last time. That's what saved them. That is not what saved them this time.
It's an interesting story, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, what developments comes out of this.
And the coach, sorry not to cut across it, but they said that there was a secret managerial contract. So whoever was the coach at the time, whether it was Mancini,
it was Mancini. It was definitely Mancini. Yeah.
There was another contract for him where he was a very lucrative contract that was not disclosed to the public, to the media, to the Premier League.
Yeah.
That went under the radar. And that is also one of the sticking points. There's been 5 regulation breaches over 100 different situations in the past, since 2013, I think.
Yeah.
So they have a lot to answer for. They're going to get the best team and probably the
absolutely. Absolutely. And then if they're they can come along then and they can what's the word I'm looking for? They want to challenge it. They can challenge it. You know what I mean? So this is going to go on and on and on. It's not going to be solved by next week. This is going to go on and on. But it's interesting. And it's going to, and hopefully it does try to sort out the corruption that is in football. For the last 20 years, since the Premier League began, anyway, there's not about corruption. They're all at it.
Yeah. If they deal with it this year, if there's a points deduction, it will be this season. If it's dealt with this season. If it's next season, of course, the points deduction will be next season. Yeah. To be honest, I don't want them to get deducted and people to be turning around going, well, Arsenal won the league because City got points deducted.
No way.
That would just be, that is what people
I want City now to compete against Arsenal for the league and to make the best team, best club win.
Yeah. At least if we win, we do it with honor, knowing that we were the best team.
Yeah.
I mean, when the chips were down. But I think I'm right in that we haven't played City yet this season, right? So we're going to have to
pay them twice. We have to pay them twice now in the next few weeks.
Yeah, we're going to have to go to the Etihad then.
Yeah.
Oh,
listen, let me tell you something. We're playing Man City twice. We have Brentford. We have to play Newcastle in St. James's Park. We have to play Chelsea. And we have to go to Anfield. And I know people are saying they're poor, blah, blah, blah. It's still Anfield. Yeah. And also you can throw the likes of Leicester in there as well. Not easy games there. We have the hardest run in between us and City.
Yeah.
And don't forget,
the smaller squad.
Europa League in there as well.
Yeah. Now the Europa League is coming back online now.
So don't forget. Squeaky bum time, Dave. Squeaky bum time.
We need to start with a win against Brentford, but definitely you're going to see now, you're going to find out what the team's made of in the next week. It's going to tell you a lot about the team.
Absolutely.
1 week.
By this time next week, by this night next week at 10 o'clock, this night next week, we know a lot more about this team.
Yeah. I'm honestly, man, I am nervous. I'm not going to lie. And like I was before the Everton game, I'm apprehensive. I don't think we took off at such a rate, such a speed at the start of the season, and we find ourselves where we are. But I don't know, we have been tested, but in my opinion, there's further tests that we need to withstand. The team has been playing out of their skins to a certain extent, let's be honest about it. We have been up there, we've been doing the business, we've been winning the games. The Everton game, of course, brought us back down to earth, but it's how we respond to that. I don't know. I mean, the sooner Jesus comes back, the better, in my opinion. That might upset the team. We were doing fantastically without him. Big up Eddie Nketiah, man. I don't want to disrespect Eddie, but I think the sooner Jesus comes back, the better. He gives us something. He has that experience. But for me, Wednesday against City that's the big one, man.
Well, I'll tell you something now, and we're doing exceptionally well, like you say, Dev. But we're playing with the same players. That's why I feel that with the injuries, the squad is not strong enough, and therefore we're not going to win the league. You say no disrespect, Eddie. I will, for the first time tonight, disagree with you. I actually will disrespect Eddie. The most useless bastard I ever saw in a football. The second worst bagel I ever saw in an Arsenal jersey after Nicholas Baitner, and that's telling you so. I'd rather have Shambak go forward than Eddie Nketiah. He's useless. Can't stand him.
Yeah, lucky goal against United. It was a bit of a lucky kind of. The first one was good. The second one was like
because I hate United. He was a legend that night, by the way. But after that,
the greatest player to ever play for Arsenal that night. That night, he was the best player to ever play for Arsenal.
He was better than Bergkamp.
Yeah, I was mentioning Henry, and then I was mentioning Nketiah. I was like this: Bergkamp, Henry, Pires, Vieira, Nketiah.
Yeah, club legend. But no, I just think the man is piss poor. He had a great opportunity there against Everton the other day. I think if we had a top player, top striker, that'd be a goal. That's 1-0 to Arsenal. Different game. But unfortunately, we have Eddie. I think the ball landed in Anfield. So, to me, just not good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He kicked it across Stanley Park.
Yeah, just not good enough. You know, you see that up in Crow Park there for Gaelic football. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. It was straight over the bar.
Yeah, so that's why. And that's another reason why I don't think Arsenal win. Because we can say here, Dave, listen, you know me, I just talk the way I feel and what I think. And you have Eddie Nketiah, and in my eyes, the man is useless. Then we have Jesus. Jesus is a different type of player. He's a workhorse. He runs for you. He's not afraid of a challenge. He throws himself around. He's skillful. He has an eye for goal. But he's not a natural goal scorer. And for me, for a club to win the Premier League, you have to have a striker that's going to score you 20 to 30 goals a season. So that's another little situation I have at Arsenal. I think in the summertime, we have to go spend big and buy in a top goal scorer. Especially if we're going to be in Champions League football. That's where I am now with that.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Like I said, I don't know. I just have a feeling and I don't want to be negative, but I have a feeling that we got to the point we are, but the hardest part lies ahead. Eddie Nketiah, yeah. Odegaard, he missed a chance against Everton. Of course, is defending for the chance. We were unsettled. Yeah. They knocked us out of our stride. They knocked our stride completely. They had settled us completely. The physicality, the strength, everything. They brought a lot to the game. But to be honest, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm trying to think who else we have in the squad. Who else can we bring on? Zinchenko, for me, has been a revelation.
He's been very, very good. And I just want to go back to the strike force there. We were talking about Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah.
To me, he wouldn't strike matches. And you have Jesus. And I said to you, top player, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying he's a bad player. He's not. He's a top quality player. He's just not a natural goal scorer. Then I heard you earlier on, and I've read some comments there as well. People talking about Balogun over.
Yeah, Balogun.
Yeah, and why not bring him back? He's a good goal scorer. Blah blah blah. They have main youth score goals in the French league. It's a farmers league. There's teams there absolutely
useless.
To me, not good enough. Balogun and Eddie Nketiah is not the answer for Arsenal Football Club. That's my honest opinion. Jesus, yes, but we need to buy in a top goal scorer with him.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah. I mean, I've been going on a long time about Ivan Toney. He's a player that I like. We needed some kind of quality, yeah. We need some real, like, we need to spend like 70 odd million. We need to really, sometimes you just got to fork out the cash. I mean, you see what Mudryk is capable of at Chelsea. You've seen him in a couple of games. He was just played out of his skin. I mean, he's unplayable at times.
We talk about the transfer window there back in January. I tell you, a striker I was calling out for. I said, go and buy him. Give him 18-month contract, ain't the fucking story. You're giving Jorginho 18-month contract. You're giving El Neni a 12-month contract, and the man is a cripple. And when he's not a cripple, he's a fucking statue on the field.
He's crap.
So why not go and pay 15 million and buy in Danny Ings? Ings is a proven Premier League goal scorer.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Why not get him that time and fuck him up in the number 9 there? And, might get a few goals of him, like.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, like I said, they had enough time to kind of line someone up. And I mean, they should have known where the weaknesses lie. It's just like McManus said there. I think we also need to upgrade on Xhaka. Don't get me wrong. Xhaka's been brilliant this season, but he's going to be 31 soon. He has been brilliant this season. He's shoved my own stomach through it. But he's not the youngest anymore. I mean,
McManus is spot on. And I'll tell you something about Xhaka. Yes, I agree. He's been very, very good. But he's at the club 7 years, Steph.
Yeah.
And this is his first decent season.
Yeah.
Where was he for the season? Personally speaking, if it was up to me, this is just me. If I was involved in the club, the nights when he took off the jersey and he gave the fans the fingers and walked down the tunnel.
Yeah.
That was the end of it for him.
Yeah.
I would have boxed the fucking head off him in the dressing room. I would have packed his bags. I would have fucked him into the back of the car. I would have dropped him to Stansted Airport. And I would have said, I'll tell you where you're going, my dear friend. Fucking off back over to Switzerland because you're absolute dirt.
Back to Basel.
On, good luck. But now he's had to put in a half a season so far, and he's had to be very, very good. Whatever is happening to him, he's in a different kind of position and it's suiting his game, and he's done well. But where the fuck was he against Everton? Where is he going? The question is, where is he going to be Saturday against Brentford?
We can start talking
about Xhaka.
Yeah, we need a big performance from the midfielders. I mean, goal scorers score goals, man. The defenders have to be on it, the goalkeeper, but we need the midfield to be on it. I mean, that's where the game is won and lost. They really need to make amends for what happened in the Everton game. I mean, they can't be around their laurels anymore. They went out with this attitude against Everton that I think the game was won before they stepped on the field. And what happened then was when Everton seized control, we couldn't turn it back. We couldn't turn it around. They had us. We just couldn't step up then. We couldn't change the tempo, the momentum of the game. And to be honest, like I said, when we went the goal down, no surprise. But that was the end of the game then. We were done. We never looked like we were going to get him out. Like the thing that I said, like I had a problem with, they doubled up on Saka. But sure, there had to be space somewhere inside when two of them came out to meet him. That's Arteta's business to spot that. That's the players out there to spot that. But they need to exploit that. He drew two players to him. They doubled up on him. There has to be space inside for someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When was the last time you saw Arsenal lift up the Premier League? 2004.
2004, yeah.
You telling me that they didn't double up on Robert Perez, they didn't double up on Bergkamp, didn't double on all those great players.
Yeah, that's right.
The reason why we won the Premier League back then is because we came up with the answers against these low block teams. It's up to the champions of England to come up with answers. It's like us in our jobs, Steph. We come up against certain things that we have to come up with the answers for. These boys are professional footballers. They're the ones that have to come up with the answers. And to me, Arsenal Football Club should never be getting beat by Everton Football Club. I don't give a fuck where we play them. If it's in Goodison Park, the Emirates Stadium, or on the fucking PlayStation, it shouldn't happen. So this is the standards that I have for the club. So we have to go out now against Brentford and kick them off the field.
Yeah. We really need to get a result because, like I said, the City game is looming and we can't be guaranteed a victory there. We need to take the 3 points against Brentford. We have that game in hand. We're 5 points ahead. Like I said, we're lucky that we're still 5 points ahead because we needed City to slip up against Spurs. You know what I mean? Spurs put in a shift against City in that game. But it's still in our hands now. It should probably be out of our hands a little bit. We could only be 2 points ahead, but we're still 5. I couldn't believe it when City lost. I couldn't believe our luck. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, how lucky can you be? It's not going to happen a second time. It's not. I mean, the players, I'm sure after the Everton game, they took a long, hard look at themselves. But I mean, the manner of the performance, I mean, you'd have to. What is going on? Commentator from Del by Gunner TV. Do I reckon we will bounce back against Brentford? I have my doubts.
Del Boy. I have doubts, my friend. I have doubts. I'm not confident. I'm not confident. But then again, I'm never confident. But I'm just not confident. Brentford are a good football team. They're not idiots. And the manager is not a fool. He's going to go to the Emirates with a game plan. We have to bounce back if we want to be Premier League title champions. We have to bounce back. And if not, and if we get based and we get beat by Man City next week, well then, Del Boy, 3 weeks from tonight, my friends, we will be in the Emirates Stadium causing fucking war.
Let me know when you come out. I'll meet you outside, all right?
The Fighting Irish will be outside the Emirates Stadium.
I'll meet you outside to make sure you get away safely. But not that you need my help, I'd say. No, but seriously, man, you're right. I mean, the hardest part of the journey lies ahead. And there's nothing has been won in February.
No.
And City are looking menacing. And I mean, we need to come up with a game plan in the match on Wednesday. We need to come up with a game plan because they have the psychological advantage from the victory, from the performance in the first game, in the cup game I'm talking about. Saka, you know what I mean? Ake, I already mentioned this monster that they have playing for them. Strong, quick, intelligent, he can score. They have the players in the areas that can hurt us, and they're better than us, I think, in my own opinion. Their 11 is a bit stronger than ours. So how are we going to unsettle them?
The game plan, in the first 5 minutes, Saliba puts Haaland open road side with a tackle. And while he's on the ground rolling around like a little baby, just a little whisper into Haaland's ear, that's right, my friend. I'm fucking here tonight.
Yeah.
Start putting doubts in him.
We need to set the tone.
First him aside. And then when Mahrez gets the ball and he don't have the little flicks and tricks, destroy him. Let him kicking. He's not Eddie is not the answer. Honestly, not the answer, McManus. He's absolute dirt. I want to put that fella on a studio
matches. He couldn't strike matches, that fella.
He wouldn't strike matches. So I wouldn't put him on a Subbuteo again. Remember the Subbuteo back in the 8?
Yes,
I wouldn't put him on that. No, that's the tropes.
He couldn't score in the Brattle. That's my favourite one. He couldn't score. He couldn't score in the Brattle. You're paying him, you're paying him, and he still couldn't score. But
he's like the goalkeeper Pickford. He wouldn't stop smiling. He wouldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
But he stopped us, didn't he?
Yeah.
Fucking prick.
What a performance.
Pickford, I think Pickford is one of the worst goalkeepers in the Premier League. And we didn't even test him.
No.
That's how bad the performance was. We didn't even test him.
No. Every time I saw him, he was relaxing, talking to the defenders and holding his ball.
Just chilling, brushing back his hair and
then he was talking to the fans like going like that.
Yeah.
He was turning his back on the play because he knew he wasn't going to get chipped from the halfway line.
He could have sat down. He saw Eddie and Keatley coming out in the first second. He could have sat down across the goal line anyway and said to himself, what's the point standing here? So this fella won't score.
Saka actually looks tired in that game.
Saka to me looks tired in a lot of games. I think Saka is tired, and we have no one to go in instead of him. No one.
No.
At least with Martin Eddie, we can throw Trossard in there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be very, very, very interesting in the next 2 games. Big up to Jaminho, man. Welcome along. But it's going to be... let me see.
I'm not a happy camper anyway. I think the pressure is on us.
Yeah.
And the transfer window did us no favours at all.
And the ticket prices, what do you think about that whole situation? I'm not going to ask you in Del Boy how much he paid for your tickets, But like people that have a season ticket, I know a couple of season ticket holders here in London, that I'm in contact with. They get me to go to a couple of games. Of course, this season has been different because everybody wants to be at the Emirates because the team is flying high. But there's no like when we weren't doing too good, I got a couple of tickets because they didn't turn up, and then I paid my friend face value, whatever it was, £50, turned up to watch the game. I mean, what do you think about the prices going up? I mean, honestly,
there's two
we
friends
have the
of
most
mine.
expensive tickets in world football.
Well, there are two friends of mine that went to the Man United game, and I can tell you now exactly how much they paid for their match tickets. £425 sterling each is what they paid for their match ticket. £425 sterling
Each
for the Man United game.
What?
Want to be out of your fucking mind. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have a very good contact who's a season ticket holder. And he sold me and Del Boy the 2 tickets. And he's here in Wexford. And I paid 80 and Del Boy paid 80. So £80 each. So it's not too bad. Now, the tickets are gone up. Now, Kenny Kane was on the Jays Collins show with me earlier this evening. And Kenny Kane is a season ticket holder. And he started explaining the situation. And it's all tied in with cup games and credits and stuff like this. I honestly don't really understand it all. But what I do understand is it's just way too expensive. At the end of the day, it's a fucking football match. 90 minutes long. Like, when is enough? You know, like, we're working class people going to watch these games. Like, what's going to happen is they're going to outprice us because we're being outpriced in every other walk of life. And we won't be able to afford to go out to see our beloved clubs. And all you have then is all business people and cooperation people and stuff like that. Oh, bullshit. The real fans be sitting at home because we won't be able to afford to go to see the games.
And whether the fans are actually living in London or they're living in the Republic of Ireland, for example, it makes no difference because there's real fans everywhere. But you see the guys that are coming over are the affluent, the rich. Like, I went past Chelsea Football Club yesterday, I passed Chelsea Football Club yesterday because, unfortunately, I'm living out in that area of London, but I'm across the river, kind of more Fulham. But I pass Chelsea every day on the way to work, How do I put this without sounding like a bigot? There was a lot of tourists around the stadium, Tourists, okay? I'm not going to say where they came from, what continent, regardless. I'm not going to get into it. But they are fans, of course. But they were well-to-do. I could see it. They were wealthy. No. That's what's going to happen. I mean, it doesn't matter if the fans are in London or if they're in Singapore. The real fans are going to be priced out. They can't afford it. The atmosphere at the stadium is going to suffer. It's not, come on, like, I mean, the club is making money. What about the real fans? What about, for example, young fans up and coming that might one day, like Smith Rowe, Saka, play for Arsenal? But they're not going to get to go to the stadium now with their father or their mother. I mean, the community of Islington, Islington, the community there. I have lots of friends in Islington, okay? I'm there a lot. These people are working class. They can't afford to go to most of the games. A lot of them, when they were living in Islington and one or two of them moved out, they would hear it out the backyard. That's grand job. You could hear the roar at the stadium, when the home team has scored. But I mean, it's already started. That's been going on for years. And now it's increasing even more. And what are they doing with the money? Are they putting it back into the team? Whose pocket is it going to? Crumpies. Come on. It's disgusting, man. That is.
You see, disgusting. The thing is, there, football was a working man sport. And that's what it started off as. A working man sport. It's no longer a working man sport. It's now one of the biggest, if not the biggest business in the world. It's a huge business. And the working man has been forgotten about. The real fans that has built these teams to what they are today, these clubs to what they are today, we're just forgotten memory. That's all we are now. And the thing is, we're forgotten about, and we're the ones that got the clubs to where they are. But Saka and Martinelli and Jesus and all these players will all get their 200, 300,000 pound wages in their bank account next week. It's shocking. Why not put a cap to the wages? And even if you want to take the price, the money, put it back out, put the money back out into the community.
Yeah.
Too much greed. When is enough? Now, we have the most expensive season tickets in European football as it is. Now there's a rise going on it. Now, I have a question to ask. Why the fuck have we got the most expensive season tickets in European football when the last time we won the Premier League was 18, 19 years ago? And we still have to win the Champions League, don't forget. So what gives us the fucking audacity to charge people top dollar?
And the stadium has been paid off for years, man. The stadium was paid off years ago. You know what I mean? It's not like we're paying back the bank. Yeah, we got a loan from the bank.
That mortgage for that stadium is cleared, and it's cleared years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it. I don't understand this. I just don't understand, and it's terrible. I have a daughter here that I love to bring over with me. I can't afford it.
Yeah. I've a friend too that I would like to bring to a game. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know.
It's serious money.
Yeah.
Like from here in Ireland, and as you know, like we have to get the ticket, then we have to book a hotel, then we have to get our flights.
Yeah.
And then when you get to England, it's £30 sterling for the train from Stansted down to Liverpool Street. That's the first thing you have to pay. £30 sterling.
And the underground is not cheap, man. The underground is not cheap.
And then you go underground, and that's not cheap either. And you go down to Finsbury there. I get off in Finsbury Park there, and I come out and I go into that little superstore there. And I'll be only looking because there's no way I'll be able to afford to buy a jacket or a jersey. And then you come out, then you go into the 12 pins and you have 1 or 2 pints. And I go to those chip shops there. You get chips and a burger and a can of fucking Coke, whatever, for £3.50.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't go anywhere else or it cost you an arm and a leg.
Greg's, like a Greg's.
Yeah, couldn't afford it. And then you go down to the stadium there, then you might pick up an old hot dog or something along the way. It's quite expensive. Like, you know, Dave, by the time you change euros into sterling, that's more expensive.
Yeah.
So it's a very expensive trip. You wouldn't be doing it. I'd love to do it every week, but I just can't. I can't afford to do it every week.
Yeah, it's expensive. Getting around London, the prices at the stadium for the food is it's off the wall.
Shocking.
Never mind the queues. Never mind this. Never mind that. It's just
shocking.
It's off the wall altogether.
I think it's £7 for a pint.
Yeah, it's no joke, man, and it's not worth nothing. It's just a pint in a plastic cup and turn 2 seconds.
It's not worth a damn to you. Not worth
You can't take it with you. You know what I mean? It's done, it's gone. You eat, you drink, but it doesn't fill you up. It doesn't quench your thirst.
No, it's a joke.
I don't know. They need to rethink things. I mean, like the players, like if they're earning 150 grand or 200 grand. It doesn't make a difference to them at the end of the day in their bank account because they have enough to live anyway, comfortably. They have everything they have everything already that they could ever want in life. They want the car, they get the car. They want this, they get that. They want the Rolex, they get the Rolex.
Yeah, they can have whatever they want.
They don't need it. And to be honest, they're paying them it when, like Martinelli, I could not imagine him demanding over the odds. You know, he's happy to play for the club. He makes enough money. He can live comfortably and well.
Martinelli's still contract there was 180,000 a week. 180,000 a week. You better buy yourself a house. You better buy yourself a mansion after 2 weeks.
Look at us,
and never have to worry again.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm living in London, man. It's no joke, for
No?
me and everyone else. It's even the English that are living here, they know the system, of course, better. They've been here, they have family, but they also need to tread carefully, through the potholes and the landmines that are around. I mean, they're not living it up like you would think. A lot of them that I know, they work, they go home. They work, they go home. They work, they go home. In between, they're in transit because the city is so big. You're just trying to get from A to B. The city is just, how big the city is. I mean,
Yeah,
the city is just, but
Dave, it's like that here in Ireland at the moment. The last figures I saw at the moment, we have 11,500 Irish citizens homeless.
Yeah.
And 3,500 kids are on the streets tonight. And that's the country that we're living in here at the moment. It's an absolute fucking joke. But like I always say, the Irish people will do fuck all about it. Just sit back and accept all this bullshit. And that's why some Arsenal fans pisses me off too, because all they accept is mediocrity. I was told I was negative. I was told that I talk in baloney. I was told I was more for reacting last weekend after the defeat against Everton. And as I simply said, why? Because I want my standards up to here and you want mediocrity.
Yeah.
We live in a world now, therefore mediocrity is just what people want. I don't. I want high standards. And if I shout out from the rooftops about my club when I feel that it's not doing what it should be doing, and I'm like that in life. I'm shouting out against our government here in the country because of what they're doing to the Irish people. I'm not racist. My mother is Black African, so I'm not racist.
Yeah.
But I'm Irish.
You're mixed race.
And I see what they're doing to the Irish people is absolutely scandalous, and they're getting away with it. And the Irish people are worse because all we do is sit back and accept their fucking shit.
It's small. We're a small country. I mean, Ireland is a very small country. I mean, the United States is something different. Even the UK is different. Germany is different. Italy, Spain, but we are a very small country. The thing is, they're taking in a lot of people. I understand people are in need, but the country can't handle that.
Can't handle them. We're letting in 75,000 Ukrainians at the moment.
They're talking
about letting in another 100,000 Ukrainians this year. Now, how the fuck can this country put up with that when we have 12,000 homeless Irish as it is? And not only that, but these people that's coming from the Ukraine, there's a lot of them now sleeping in tents as well because we don't have accommodation for them. So
charity begins at home.
100,000?
Yeah, charity begins at home, Kyle.
Yeah.
You go to Poland, you wouldn't see that. Any of the other countries, you wouldn't see that. They're going to put their own first, which is their country. Look, it's their country. Switzerland.
I have no problem. I have no problem with people coming over and getting help, and I have no problem with that. I'm not saying like that.
Give it a fair go.
Give it a fair go, but Jesus Christ, take care of your own first.
I tried to move back. Actually, I'm just going to say with my soon-to-be ex-wife, we tried to move back in November 2021. Okay, when I came back from South America, and everybody was living in a bubble. My sister, married, house, kid, my buddies, you know what I mean, on the way to being married, kid on the way. They were living in a bubble, you see, and they were looking at it from a different point of view because they were set up. I came back. I had been set up in Switzerland, but my wife couldn't make a life there, my soon-to-be ex-wife. So I came back, went back to Cork, looked around me, and there was nothing going on. I mean, trying to get a place to live, forget about it, because I was in the mix with students, ourselves. People had just arrived in the country. It's like there was no kind of, it wasn't segmented. It wasn't in different areas. It was like the lotto when all the balls dropped into the drum. Impossible, just impossible. And like, what are you left then with? Airbnb. I'm just saying, it was just impossible situation. And I'm Irish. I mean, I know people, it was
my marriage broke down in 2012, Dave. And we have a beautiful daughter who's now 13. Next month she'll be 13. And I had to leave the family house, the family home, and I moved out to my father's house. And I went down and I put my name on the housing list for a 2-bedroom house for me and my daughter. I have been living in an apartment since then, renting, and I got word lately that I was approved of a 2-bedroom house in August 2016. And I'm still fucking waiting to get the keys to it. And it's now 2023. Madness, brother. Absolute madness, the system in this country.
7 years ago, man. But sure,
7 years ago. And
what's the
people
story?
walking off fucking aeroplanes from other countries and they're getting housed immediately. Sure, it don't make fucking sense to me.
And they're walking down the same road that you walked on.
Walking down the same road I'm walking down. So I'm at working in this country since the age of 18. I paid all my taxes. I've done everything above board, and this is the treatment you get. Again, am I looking out for myself as an individual, as a parent to my daughter? Why can I not get a key to a house 7 years after being granted one?
And all you've done is work hard.
And all I've done is work.
Read the law. Yeah.
I'm up out of bed every morning at 4:45. I'm sitting in the bus at 5:30 every morning. So it all makes sense to me.
Pay your taxes. You pay your taxes. You live your life the right way.
Yeah.
You do everything that they require of you, and still there's these. And it's not like you're just looking at a place for yourself. You're, like you said, you have a daughter. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I thought it was just me when I went back that I was just lucky, but now I can see that it's just par for the course. Yeah, it's just
it's like that in every county in Ireland now at the moment. It's getting worse by the day.
What the hell?
So who knows? I could be over in London very quick myself.
Yeah, the one thing in London anyway is that at least you can get a place to live because the city is so big.
Yeah,
that there are places you can rent. You might just be living in a house here at the start. Like I'm living in a house here, but it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's jobs. There's jobs, Kyle. There's jobs in London, yeah. And of course we're Irish, so we're entitled to work without any ifs, buts, or maybes. You know what I mean?
Well, I think if I went over there, I'd be working all right. I'd be working over in the Emirates Stadium, kicking them players up the arse to get them to win this league title, push them over the line.
They could do with it, to be honest. Which I'm sorry to hear. I'm sorry to hear the way things are over. Yeah. I've actually been living abroad for a long time.
Yeah, but all we can do is just keep on struggling, keep on punching. That's all you can do.
Yeah. But it's the people that have the houses. Sorry to.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's people that have the houses. Like I said, my sis, my buddies, this and that. They were looking at it from a different perspective because they are in the comfort zone,
Yeah.
When I went over there, I was like, why didn't she tell me that it was this bad? My cousin is living abroad, yeah? He works for the United Nations, so he's always around like Aleppo, Syria. But he was telling me, it's bad, Dave. You're going back. Trust me, man. It's bad. I went back, but I couldn't envisage it would be as bad as that.
Yeah.
We didn't stay long. We were straight up to Cork Airport and we left again. Came over to London and we tried our arm.
Yeah.
Try your hand out over in London, but I mean, I didn't want to go, but in the end, when you look around you,
this is the thing.
The city centre had completely deteriorated.
Yeah.
All I saw was drug addicts, man. That's all I saw.
I went down to Cork around and the same thing. Just lads like zombies walking around.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that boy says Leo Oaks. He's spot on. Leo Oaks, Michael Martin Oaks. That fucking donkey, Eamon Ryan Oaks. 3 of them. Absolute. They should be fucked into jail, the 3 for what they've done to this country.
Yeah. I'm glad that you can get over for the game anyway, lads.
Yeah, we definitely get over for the game. So looking forward to that.
I'm happy for the two of you, yeah, because at least it'll be something, you know. You can,
A bit of a crack.
Yeah, you can have a bit of crack, yeah, and you can have some fun.
And we're meeting Kenny King down there as well, so it should be fun.
The mountain, is it? The mountain.
Yeah.
Jesus,
It should be good.
He's a big lad, huh?
He's a big man. I'm looking forward to meeting him. He's a nice fella. Lots of knowledge. He knows his stuff.
He came on my channel once, just out of I just hit him up on Instagram, just out of the blue, and you know my channel is just unknown, small, and in fairness, he came on and he was like, he was just decent. He said, yeah. Come on. He's the kind of guy that I could just sit back.
Yeah.
And he was just communicative, friendly, entertaining, and he just took it from there. He just, he just talked football, and there was no airs or graces. He doesn't think, he doesn't come on with an attitude.
No, there's no bullshit.
And let's face it, like he's a cool guy.
Yeah,
big up Kenny, man. Kenny's a gentleman. It's the same in the UK as well. I have a family, and we can't get a place. But if you come over to the UK on a dinghy, you'll get a house, a car, and everything paid for you. So Kyle, buy a dinghy. Come over to the UK on a dinghy, Kyle. I'll meet you there, and let's see, where will I meet you?
Yeah.
I'll meet you in Cornwall, okay? I'll meet you somewhere in Cornwall. We'll discuss it later.
I'll be there tonight. Yeah, I'm going to get the dinghy out here now and go straight to the River Slaney, and off I'll go.
It'll be nighttime, okay? You'll be arriving in the nighttime, but I'll be with the flashlight.
I'll be grand. You'll see my teeth there. If I smile, you'll see my teeth.
The moon, don't take this wrong yet, but the moon will be shining off. I'll shave my head as well. I'll shave all this off.
There you go.
I'll shave mine off as well, so you can see the moonlight on my head.
Yeah, but sure, it's just the stress though. It's happening all over the place.
Yeah. If I ever see Eamon Ryan, I'll fuck him in the liffey.
Yeah, that boy, you and me, both will do the same. He is some fucking dickhead, that fella.
You won't be buying him a pint of Guinness anyway, I take it? Or a packet of tea,
not.
There'll be no jumbo breakfast roll.
I want all the Irish people to go down now and have their say when the next time the election comes and vote those bastards out of government once and for all.
I didn't realize things were gone down the pan, gone down the Swanee.
Terrible. Dublin City, Dublin City. I tell you the truth, I love Dublin. Dublin's like my second home. But I tell you one thing, you don't feel safe walking the streets of Dublin City anymore. There's rapes going on, there's criminality going on, there's drugs going on. It's fucking frightening up there now. I heard,
it's like O'Connell Street. It's not off the side streets.
Yeah.
Not on the alleyways. It's on O'Connell Street itself,
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. It's terrible.
And the last time I was up there, I had eyes in the back of my head because, like, even the police looked afraid.
Yeah, the police are non-existent. They won't even go down O'Connell Street. Non-existent.
I went over to ask for directions, and immediately they kind of backed off and they were kind of cautious. They were like this. I was only asking for directions.
Yeah.
They look like they were going to wet themselves.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know, man.
Terrible. Country is ran into the ground. It's not a country that I once loved anyway. And
they closed the police stations back in the day, right? I mean, they shut down half the police stations.
Yeah. They're a great government. And there was a time when you go out foreign and the people say, Jez, you want to be proud to be Irish. I'm not proud to be Irish. What have I got to be proud about being Irish? We're a fucking disgrace of a nation.
It's just not organised, man. It just doesn't seem more. Not that here is better, but or France is better, but it just does. When it's your own home country, it tugs on the heartstrings. It doesn't seem organised.
Not
organised, And like the thing is, like I said, I'm not a racist. Yeah, I've lived abroad for 12 years. I made Switzerland my home. That's actually where I had the nicest time in my life. I think I'll go back in maybe a year or so when I get myself settled again. But I have friends over there. I have good friends. But the thing is, how do I say it? I mean, yeah, I'm not racist. I've lived in foreign countries, and I have been in the position of the people coming to Ireland. I have been in that position, so I know what it's like to start from zero. But to be honest, yeah, I mean, enough is enough. To kind of like charity begins at home, man. Like you and Delboy, my parents, these people need to be looked out for. You know what I mean? And me if I went back. Come on, like charity begins at home.
Yeah.
That's how I see things, man. The country's too small, though. They don't have enough money for that. Germany can take them.
Yeah.
Italy can take them. Poland is a big enough country. Romania is a big enough country. But Ireland is like 5
We
million.
see the three boys are too busy
Or
saying
GDP,
yeah
you know?
to the EU all the time.
Mm.
Manny is in the house. Big up Manny.
Yeah, he's a friendly guy, man. Manny is
Yeah,
friendly.
Manny's top man.
Yeah, he's friendly. He was meant to be coming back to the UK at some point, like coming over here, but I don't know.
Yeah, I love listening to
It'll take a
Manny.
while, I think.
Manny speaks a lot of sense. I like listening to him.
I was at a protest last week leading the line, and I'm not joking. Yeah, man.
Big up to you there, boy.
You have to take a stand, yeah. Like every week over here, week in, week out, it's either the rail workers, the bus drivers, Transport for London, but the big one is the NHS. Every time I look around, it's the NHS. Strike,
Yeah.
strike. They're like, the National Health Service over here is really, you know, like,
Well,
it's
yeah,
weird.
you should see your health system over here in this country. My God, laughable, just laughable.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something there. I know we're off the topic, but I'm just going to say something to you. I had 3 surgeries on my leg. I have had dozens of appointments with specialists. And each time I went to see a specialist in Vincent's Hospital, cost me the balls of €350 every time. I went over to Kosovo and I got my leg sorted and done and much better, and it cost me €110. I had a dental 4 teeth down here that my dentist made a fuck up of here in Ireland and cost me a fortune. And I went to Kosovo and I got the 4 teeth done all perfect. And it cost me €120. Where the same job here in the country would have cost me up to anywhere to €2,000. Don't make sense. This country is absolute corrupt of the highest order.
They're lying in their pockets, man. They're just lying in their
Absolutely.
pockets.
Criminality of the highest order. I shoot the whole fucking lot of them.
How can people afford that? Like, smart people are the people out there, man, that are, you know, the guy that gets up and does his 9 to 5, 5 days a week and lives his life right is the mug.
We're the gobshits.
Honestly, seriously, like,
that's where we are now, Dev. Well, anyway,
it's depressing.
It is what it is. We have to keep moving forward, keep punching, and see what happens.
Jesus, honestly, but it's no joke. But I'm glad anyway that the 2 of you are able to get over for a game in a couple of weeks. We're going to have a nice. We're going to have a nice time, man. We're going to have a good time.
Absolutely. We'll be reporting from the Emirates that night, so we will be.
Well, it could be Highbury too, because you see they changed one of the sides of the stadium.
So you can do
it from Highbury too.
It looks lovely, so yeah, exactly. Outside Highbury, point the camera up.
You should try to go to the supporters club for a pint. Obviously, it's just up the street there.
Oh, in the Emirates,
but the Emirates, you know, it's just up. Like when you come out of the underground station Arsenal, it's just left.
Left.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't even notice it, you see, because it's like in like a building, and to be honest, you wouldn't notice it. Like you'd see guys outside from the street, but you wouldn't know that that's actually it. But come on,
is it like a little cabin or something? No.
Yeah, it is, and it's got like it's almost like the GAA doors, you know, like the GAA doors.
Yeah. I was in it. Yeah.
And everyone is just more comfortable if you take your pint outside, you know, and you plastic cup. You know. There's a couple of tables there. There's like one in the house. Yeah.
I had a conversation with Claude in there one night. Lord of mercy on him.
Oh, good old Claude, boy.
Good old Claude.
God rest his soul.
Absolutely.
I never met him, but I used to text him once or twice just to see how he was, and sure, just after that, he was gone.
Yeah, terrible. But sure, that's it. But sure, listen, let's move on to Saturday and let's get the 3 points in the bag and let's march forward.
We need the win, and we need the springboard going into the City game.
Absolutely.
We need the 3 points in the bag. Otherwise, all right. I think we'll wrap it up there, Kyle, if that's good for you, man. And thank you for coming on.
I know it has.
I appreciate it, Kyle. Thank you for giving your time.
I want to go for a cup of chicken soup here, Dev.
That's Nor, is it? Good stuff.
It's a bit nippy here, so I want to warm up the old system a bit here. Like, you know what I mean?
It's cold, yeah. It's cold,
It's
right?
cold. It's
cold
cold
now.
for the last 6 fucking months. I could do with a holiday.
You'll have a holiday in a couple of weeks, but it'll be London. I'm sure it's a holiday anyway.
It'll be a holiday anyway. Get me out of here for a while.
It should be warmer by then, though. It's cold here now, but it should be warmer by then. It's starting to get cold
because it'll be quite cold standing that fucking stadium, I'd say.
Yeah.
But sure, big up to you, Dave, for having me on your show, man.
No
really
problem,
appreciate
man.
it.
No problem.
And
Listen,
there's Arsenal Alex. Big up to Arsenal Alex, lads.
I just want to thank you for coming on anyway, because you were on Jez's channel earlier and taking the time out, yeah. And I hope things improve over there for all of you, yeah. And like I said, I'm delighted that you get to come over for the game. Something to look forward to, man. You know
Absolutely, Dave. And listen, man, I really appreciate you having me on your show. Anytime, it's always a pleasure to have a chat with you, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on, you know, because you make it entertaining.
Absolutely. We'll have a good old chat, good old laugh, and take it from there.
That's it, bye.
Dave, listen, I catch up with you again, man. I give you no text there, and I talk to you soon.
Enjoy your soup, yeah.
See you later, man. Big up to you all, lads. Thanks very much for
later, guys.
Thanks,
Peace.
lads. Bye-bye.
See ya. All right. It's just me. Big up to Kyle, man. He was on Jez's channel before this one, so he's been around the block, man. But I'm delighted that Kyle and Del Boy get to come over for the game and have a look. Can you get me tickets? Tickets for what? Tickets for the stadium. Oof. Wouldn't mind having a couple of tickets myself. At least when I'm learning all in your own as a branch because we're pressing and throwing an absolute scum. Yeah. Yeah, man. All right, I'm going to knock it on the head, guys. Thank you to everybody for your continued support. Smash the like in this video for me, and I'll see you next time, yeah. And take it easy, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. Come on, you Gooners.